Hi, everyone, and welcome to Drive Your Dream Home, episode 8. This is Erin Ramsey, and I'm so excited. It's a little bit dark, and it's kind of late on Christmas, but I wanted to take the opportunity to do a Drive Your Dream Home with my dad, Mike Hannigan, a.k.a. Mike Corbin, who has been my dad, my biggest champion, but also is quite the entrepreneur. And this is so funny because we're actually simulating the drive because it's Christmas, it's nighttime, we had drinks and dinner, and we didn't want to get out on the open road, but since we live across the country from each other, we wanted to make sure that we captured this before he flew home in the morning. So he's also was the fastest man on an electric motorcycle, built the electric motorcycle, has had a company, inventions. How many patents, Dad?
97.
97 patents. We got my daughter Molly in the back. Molly, lean forward so everybody can see who you are. Say hey. We recruited her. We're in my driveway, which is hilarious. So I really wanted to capture not only because I'm so proud of my dad and because I just want to do this because it's really fun. I love you. But
Thank
also,
you. I love you too.
I know you do. But we really I wanted him to share just a few of his secrets to inspire us and to help those people who are listening that really want to drive their dream home but aren't sure. So, Dad, what do you think are some of the key components for people to really, really drive their dream home no matter what that dream is?
Well, I think it starts at various ages, but for me it started, in grammar school and high school, where I wanted to make models and design contraptions like rockets and remote control airplanes and remote control boats, and rather than go to school or play sports. Like my thing that I was good at is working on a contraption and then making it work.
Right.
So I think it sometimes starts at an early age, and you can see it in some children.
So many, it seems like a lot of children have that, but then it dies out. And so how did you withstand the test of time? I mean, your parents were really traditional. You got into MIT as a junior in high school and didn't go that route. I mean, MIT, early acceptance as a junior, most kids would have just jumped on it. But what made you kind of stay the non-traditional course to really drive your dream?
Well, I was a little bit lucky with my parents. I was an only child, but my father was a great craftsman. So he could make anything. He could make a canoe or a kite, and he would love to work with me. Mm-hmm. And my uncle lived with us. He was mechanical engineer. He graduated from Brown's, and he was really good. So between the two of them, I always had a question box available. And they actually respected what I was doing, but they wanted me to do good in school too.
Right.
So they were always kind of saying, well, go do good in school and then do this after. But still my priorities were to worry about model making and my own things. And then, ironically, I go on into high school and I win the science fair in our county 3 years in a row, and I get offered a chance to go to MIT as a junior in high school, but my parents didn't have any money, and there was no way we could afford to do that. The tuitions weren't that much in those days, but the scholarships were small.
Right.
So I didn't want to burden my parents down too much more. So I decided to join the Navy, see the world, and become an electrician in the Navy.
Right.
So it all kind of pieced in very well for me, actually.
Right. So we've been talking a lot these last few days just with the ages that your grandkids are, my kids and your other grandkids, and then just Doug and I and what we're doing with our life. But you keep putting out these great things. One, I love that the question box is always available. That is cool. Everybody hear that as parents listening. Even though his dad may have wanted something different for him, there was still a question box available.
Yeah.
That's key, right?
Yeah.
So that there's area for experimentation and maybe not the traditional everything. And we're not Ditson College or the traditional route, but really the key message is that if there is a dream, that you should pursue it because it's planted there, right?
Yeah.
So how did you go on? Like, what happened and what kept you going that you really are deciding your own future all the time?
Well, I realized that I got through high school and I got my offer to MIT because of my.
Oh, shoot, keep going down.
Here goes the photo studio.
It's upside down.
Okay, sorry guys. Aaron's fault. Keep going down.
So I.
He's been so patient on the whole thing. All right, go ahead.
So off I go into the Navy, and I joined the Navy, and they gave me a chance to decide what you want to do when you join the Navy. So you go through boot camp, and then I went to electrician's mate school after that. So then I went on to an aircraft carrier and became an electrician. And after one enlistment in the Navy, I get out of the Navy and I'm a master electrician. So all of these things are falling into place for me. I'm doing things, I'm making things, I'm learning how to troubleshoot things, learning how to be resourceful. And the Navy really makes a young person highly responsible for their part of being on the ship,
Right.
So I get out of the Navy and I got a job for a couple years as an electrician for different companies. And then I designed some parts for my motorcycle, and I went to a rally, and a guy wanted to buy my seat. And I sold him the seat, and then I realized, gee, I made something nice enough to sell with my own hands, and I love motorcycling, and I didn't really like being an electrician or a small-time electrical contractor.
Right.
So I chose to go in the motorcycle industry. And then I realized I would have a lot to learn, but I would learn it piece by piece, a little bit at a time. But I decided I'm going to go in the motorcycle industry, and I'm going to find my place in it with what I can do, with what my abilities are, and then I would make sure that I would become the best at what I did.
Yeah.
And then that would give me a career.
So being the best, finding your niche, not falling into what's expected, but really keeping that question box available for yourself and for the people that you care about, right?
Yeah.
So now here you are. You've been in business for how long?
Just finished year 48. Been
Wow.
in my own business 48 years.
Yeah. So what would you say is the biggest... So we talked a little bit tonight at dinner about being tenacious and persistent, and to really be sure that you're doing what you decide what you want to do, and then you put in the hard work.
Yeah, you first of all, you make... I think the most important thing, and a lot of people that aren't in business don't realize it, make a long-term commitment. Saying, I really enjoy this part of my life, and I'm going to do this as long as I can. So
Right.
I'm in the motorcycle business for keeps, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm also here to build the state-of-the-art up. Like, I want to make the best motorcycle seat in the world. I'm just committed to that. Like, we will go through any extent of expense or research or imagination to make the best seat you can get. So nobody can get ahead of us. So we're the leading edge of our niche.
Right.
Then tenacity is important. Like, you have your ups and downs in business, but even when it's kind of crummy financially or psychologically, you got to remember, hey, we're here to stay, and we're going to get through this. And the things that you're worried about tomorrow won't even be anything that bothers you a bit.
Right.
In a few weeks.
Yeah.
Right? So you're here to stay, for better or for worse. And as soon as you make the commitment, you're here to stay, it makes everything else easier.
Right.
Don't see yourself as, well, I might fail. You say, no, I might have a down period,
Right.
but I'm going to work my way through it. I'm going to be successful.
Yeah, keep that fluidity in thinking. I think that's what happens if people hit a little bump in the road. Lots of people, including myself and most people we know, and you think, oh, no, it's all over. But if you can get that frame of mind that, oh, it's just a bump, and this too shall pass, and we'll go on and we'll be stronger, then you can really be tenacious.
Well, that's why they put suspensions on cars, because there's potholes.
Right,
and speed
exactly.
bumps. But the car keeps going, and the wheel goes up and down.
Yeah.
And the car keeps going, and you get over it.
I love that analogy. Yeah. So, what do you most want to impart? Let's say if it was just me and you talking, you know, father, daughter at dinner. What would you tell me that you think you did so right that you hope I do?
Well, you're already doing it. And
But what is it for other people to hear?
the best thing to do is you choose your own path. And you don't try to choose a path that somebody else recommends to you. Dig into your own heart and your own soul and figure out, what do you want to do? And start working on it little steps at a time. There's no like light switch you turn on and automatically you're successful, but just keep going in the direction that you choose to go in. Everybody only lives once. This is not a dress rehearsal, and nobody has the right to make a value judgment about what you're doing as long as you're being wholesome. And just pursue your dreams and try to make yourself better at what you do every day.
I love it. So, Molly, come on in the back seat there, baby girl. You have a question for Grandpa?
No.
No, she just came along because we wanted her in the car. We're so glad you're here, Molly. So my dad is Corbin.com. Super cool. If you want to learn more about his story and his inventions and his motorcycle seat company. And now here you are. How old are you, Dad?
I'm 73.
And you're getting ready to launch in 2017.
The new Sparrow 2017.
And a Sparrow is what?
A Sparrow is a single-seater, 3-wheel electric car.
At 73, still driving the dream home.
That's right.
I love it. It's so inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
God, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for inviting me into your car.
Yeah.
It's a nice car, by the way.
Yeah, right. We're driving our dream home, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So go ahead and like my YouTube channel, which would be great. Subscribe. And if you're interested in being on Drive Your Dream Home, or you know somebody who has something to share that will help other people, remember, Drive Your Dream Home is inspiration for everyone, from everyone. You can visit AaronRamsey.com. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you very much.
All
Love you,
right.
honey.
Love you too.